This video was made possible by the EA Gamechangers. Thank you so much, EA, for providing me an early access copy of Cottage Living. Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel today, and we are going to be doing a brand new Sims 4 speed build. And so today, I thought it'd be a very perfect way to build Agnes Crumplebottom, the NPC Sim, a brand new home for her to live in. However, I do want to say thank you so much to EA for providing me an early access code to Cottage Living, but also this is not the final version of Cottage Living, so there are some things that are subject to change that you might see in the final version that'll be very different in my video. But if you don't remember, Agnes Crumplebottom is an OG Sim that's been around since The Sims 1. They've now brought her back to the new day and age of 2021 in Cottage Living, and I'm so happy. Even though she does abuse your Sims if you flirt with her, like she'll literally hit your Sims across their face into the next year if you flirt with her. I personally think it's kind of lovely, but you know, some Sims don't like that, some Simmers don't like that, but I am a Simmer and I love that. So anyway, this is our house and I'm so happy about this that I cannot wait to show you what it looks like. So when I was building this house, I knew for a fact that Agnes and Agatha were going to live here, but I didn't really necessarily know where I was going to put Agatha, because if you don't know, both of them are co-owners of the flower shop stall in Henford on Bagley and Finchwinch in this general area where I'm building this house. However, with these two, Agnes is a bitter old lady, whereas Agatha is more nice and sweet and lovely. And so if Agatha ever decided to move in with her cousin, she would move up into the attic where it's very small and very teeny tiny. Agnes would live downstairs where all, you know, the good stuff is happening. And even though it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, I kept it very relatively small just because I didn't think that Agnes would necessarily want a big giant home and didn't really need all that space. Plus, I only had base game and Cottage Living installed, so I didn't really have all the packs to my disposal. Now, here's the thing. The home that Agnes deserves is this house, but with a bunch of cat trees and a bunch of cats. So whenever I get this house in Cottage Living again, I'm going to probably include some cats and dogs into the mix, or just build her a brand new house in general, just because the more the merrier. Maybe Agnes lives in one house, Agatha lives in the other house. You never really know. And so once we get into the interior, this whole idea is like very blue and cozy and homey. And so it fits the warm vibe of Agatha, but not Agnes. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes in the end result. But I'm very surprised because I literally was sitting here because it was the last day I had access to Cottage Living. And I knew I wanted to build some more houses. And I built this house in 40 minutes. I don't know what my fingers and brain was doing, but I knew for a fact that Agnes needed a home. It was the last build that I had in my video catalog ideas book that I wanted to build. And I was like, okay, she's gonna have a small home. She's gonna live in Finchwinch where her flower shop is located. And it's gonna have 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. The kitchen is small. The dining room is very small. And that is basically it. Even though Agatha is in the picture, I gave part of the section of the home on the outdoor where we have like the chicken coop and I think also some flower boxes for Agatha to do her, you know, some fun flowery things that she loves to do every single day. Now, Agnes, on the other hand, is just not the person that I would really, you know, flirt with. Like, trust me, I have a bunch of screenshots that I find very hilarious because in my playthrough of some of the gameplay that I did with this pack, I had my Sim go up to Agnes and flirt with her multiple times and basically just see what would happen. It happened. She literally smacked him first and then swung her back to get, you know, winded up and then smacked him again across his face. And there's actually a moodlet you get when you flirt with Agnes Crumplebottom and she hits you and it says Crumplebottom. Whatever she has in that purse must be a brick. But I don't know. I feel like that Agnes Crumplebottom has bricks in her purse, to be honest. And it's just not good to go up to her and saying, hey, pretty lady, how you doing? What's going on? I hope your day's going pretty well. Here's some flowers. And then she's like, oh, no, I don't think so. I'm not going to flirt with you. You're sneezing, you're disgusting, you're greasy, and you're just a wannabe person that just wants to hang out with you. And I'm not going to tolerate that. And so she hits you. But you know, hey, it's the norm of Agnes. And when I was furnishing the interior of this home, I knew that with this build, it was going to be relatively small and I couldn't add a bunch of stuff that I wanted. So I made sure that I didn't overly clutter the build and not under clutter. So I only added a few clutter items here and there, of course, as you know, the bag that you can find in debug that Agnes, you know, carries around periodically throughout her day. She owns a purse. So I added in her purse to showcase that she lives here, but also added in the typewriter for Agatha and maybe Agnes here and there to write love letters to her past from like college days or, you know, the senior elderly home in part of the town that I eventually will build one of these days. Because in my mind, that Agnes, Agatha, Ian, and Derek, those 4 elders in this town, I feel like they should have like a senior center where they all can go and hang out together and just vibe along, play, you know, chess or knit for a living or do some crocheting or cross stitching. Like, I don't really know. Like, a part of me, I am a big on, like, I'm a big family game player. So anything that gives me an idea of family gameplay, I will literally build or just play with. So I kind of want to build a senior center in Henford on Bagley and include some senior elderly related things like cross stitching, knitting, chessboards, a small little kitchen where they can make some small little things, whatever, a little garden on the side. I don't know. I just have a lot of ideas in my head and I should have built it when I had this pack, but in my mind, I want to include Nifty Knitting, Seasons, Parenthood, Cottage Living, Base Game, like some other packs too, because it's a lot of things you can do with a lot of variety of packs. And when you're limited on stuff, it can be kind of hard to get your vision executed very well through a build or through gameplay. And that's why I'm going to be doing a Let's Play in this world with the new pack, specifically more so doing a rags to riches LP, because I love being poor in The Sims, and I find the idea of having Thomas Watson being that main sim, that I utilize him as a rundown, rugged, lost everything sim that is going to be able to one day get back to his former glory of having his estate and his family back in where he finds some comfort into that. But I don't know. Honestly, at the end of the day, Thomas Watson, Agnes Crumplebottom, Agatha Crumplebottom, you know, Ian Moody, and Derek McMillan, and Michael Bell have a lot in common. And even though they're all pretty much the same people who live in the same town, they all have their own individual backstories that I find very unique that I can expand on through a Let's Play. And so hopefully you are excited for that Let's Play and the return of Let's Plays to this channel, because I've been so pumped to be able to record again and be inspired again through gameplay and storytelling. So these Let's Plays are going to be very different, but somewhat the same, but have a different spin to them that I think you'll all find very, very unique. Now, for the exterior for this home, I personally, I don't know. You all know I love me some landscaping. I love landscaping in The Sims. And so when I have the excuse to like go wild with my plans, I will go forth in my endeavors and do what I gotta do to make it overgrown looking and manicured and looking cool. Now, this area, even though it's very small, I believe I have built this on a 20 by 15 lot. And I'm not exactly sure how much it costs, but I do know where it's located and where you can find it and where you can place this lot. If you want to know all of the lot sizes and where they're located, I do have a post on my community tab, which I will link down below in the description so you can see it for yourself, getting a general idea on where things are at and what builds you want to do in certain areas. Now, for Agnes and the senior center I'm going to be building, I might build the senior center next door to this house because it's in the general area of Finchwinch, and personally Agnes, Ian, and Derek and Agatha don't move around much. And Ian and Derek are both retired. They're a same-sex couple, they live together, they're a very wholesome family, and I just believe that they could all get along very, very well. Now, I included the chicken coop for Agatha and the planter boxes for Agnes and Agatha since they both own the flower shop in this general area. And now for the attic, I didn't really do much with it because I kind of forgot it at the last second to do something up there. So I just added a bunch of like random boxes and an easel and a couch just for funsies. And so if Agatha ever moves in and she wants to live here, she can move upstairs and redecorate it however she so pleases. But let's go ahead and hop into the real-time tour. So now that we're into the real-time tour, I have to say I had so much fun building this house. Even though it's very small and very short, I decided that it was time to give Agnes Crumplebottom the house that she deserves. And even though I have base game and cottage living only installed, I feel like I can go back into this and add in some cats and dogs-esque type of like furniture and see what I can do, especially for the attic. So the whole exterior is very well managed and crazy looking. In my humble opinion, I added a bunch of like, vines on the wall and making sure it's just overgrown. And I feel like Agnes doesn't really like the whole down and dirty farming type of thing. So I only gave her like planter boxes and a chicken coop that only Agatha does by herself, not Agnes. Agatha does more of the farming and getting down and dirty into the dumps of life with animals. Agnes doesn't do much. So I just gave her what she needed for her sister to do. So we already have that outside. And I added in the rabbit's home and also the flock of birds onto the side too, just in case if Agnes is feeling nice for one day and wants to interact with animals and not be a meanie pant anymore. And honestly, the interior is very, very small and like very cramped in because the original house that was built here, I kind of got some inspiration from that and kind of didn't replicate it to the exact it was before, but I wanted to put my own spin to it. So I did end up making the layout way, way more different. There's one bedroom and one bathroom. The kitchen and dining room are all in one hallway. And even though that we do have an attic, I wanted to add stairs instead of a ladder because I feel like ladders are a little bit too much, especially when you are having toddlers in your home. They can't really necessarily climb up the ladder. So using stairs is way, way better. Even though it utilizes more space, I still think it looks like nice to have it here. And plus I also added in the nice wallpaper. I cannot get enough of this wallpaper. It's so, I don't know, it has like this like nice look to it. Like it's worn down, but it's still looking good and well kept. But the whole entrance area is pretty much filled with all the things you really need. Your bookcase, your cross stitching, 2 chairs. Kitchen and dining room is all blue along with the wallpaper. I'm just like a big fan of this like seamless pattern wallpaper along with the kitchen cabinets and counters, even the sink too. It works so well. And then the bedroom is also simple, all rabbity and old looking in time. It just looks comforting. I literally just want to be a sim and live in this game and not have any consequences of having to pay for the bills and stuff. Like we don't got time for that. Paying bills, not in the Sims game. We do mother load and go about our day. But that's kind of technically the entire house. The attic is not really that filled just because I feel like attics don't really need that much. And I feel like Agnes doesn't really have that much stuff anyway, and neither does Agatha either. So I just added in an easel and some cross stitching, a treasure chest, and then a couch that they had from the olden days of time. And that's pretty much it. But eventually when you download this build, when the pack releases, you can renovate this however you would like to. But personally, I feel like it's good the way it is. I like it. It's a very starter home style house and it's only 39,000 simoleons. I do want to add in a lot trait as Bracy Breeze and Homie, but then for the lot challenge, I think it'll be very, very cool to possibly have it as simple living for Agnes. So whatever they grow in their garden, they gotta, use the ingredients. So personally, they can buy them, get it from other people, or grow them themselves. So personally, it just makes it better for cooking. I like that. So honestly, one Cobblebottom Street is nice, quaint, and lovely. But either way, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!